Security National's program, DeepHaven, is not a complex program, but one that needs to be reviewed and explained to get the maximum understanding of it. So what we wanted to do is to try to make it a little easier for everyone to understand how it works and how we can make this work. So we always will start in the portal, showing where everything is as far as where you can find the information that we're discussing. So we'll move over to the portal and we'll jump in and go from there. So in the portal, just like usual, the loan officer resources and underwriting, product and underwriting guides are where we primarily will focus our business. Calendar obviously is for trainings and other items that are coming up, but we'll look at the underwriting and product guides there. Credit policies, where you're going to find all of your policy information on any product. Now with DeepHaven, it's located in an unusual spot in the policy. It's not in non-conforming, but it's rather conforming, and then portfolio product. So it's down there at the bottom, and you'll find all the information as well as the Security National direct programs. So we'll go and start with that, and we'll move into just showing you the credit policy. While it's 101 pages, the first bulk of it is the same information that's on the matrix that they provide, so you're going to blow through a lot of it automatically by using the matrix anyway, because it's the best way to identify. So DeepHaven, there are no doc business purpose loans, low FICOs, past consumer lates, bankruptcies, open collections, bank statement documentation programs, foreign nationals, non-mortgable condos, and no seasoning requirements on specific programs within the DeepHaven product. So we want to just enjoy using the options there. So what we want to do is you always want to ask those questions that provide the information needed to determine what your borrower is. Are they buying a primary investment? How's their credit? Have they had a major event in the last years? I'll note down the list until you have and know what they are. And we'll use a quick case study. Self-employed realtor, been in business for 5 years. She doesn't show a large amount of income on her tax returns, but in conjunction, due to the tax codes and the deductions, so she's light on her tax returns. However, her business bank accounts show very well, and that's the way she can qualify. She's done renting and wants to buy a home. She's got 20% down. She's got good credit in this case at 700, and she's got little debt. She also said that she's going to be receiving a large settlement in the next few years, so she wants to keep her payment as low as possible. So the first thing we do is we've got some base information. We know we're going to try to make this quick. We know that she doesn't have any credit issues. She's all but just, it's pretty much a simple situation. So you could start at near prime, then go to non-prime, and she's not an investor, but in this case we know she's near prime because she doesn't have any consumer challenges and hasn't had an event in the last 2 years. But the program helps to allow for borrowers who may not qualify using your standard underwriting guides. So that's we jump in right there and say that's going to be a good one for us. Also, it notes that there's bank statements. So when you look at the matrix, we know that we're working in near prime now because we've identified those credit things. You're going to look at the grade first. You're going to look up there. Which one does she fit in? Well, we've looked at it. We know that she hasn't had any mortgage late. She hasn't had any issues. So she's going to be an A+. Now, we know we were going to look at bank statements, so we jump to the bank statement column right there. And we start going, okay, it's a purchase. She's a 700, so we're going to fit it right into there. Then we look at the additional options. Well, we're going to look at an 85%, but with the business bank statements, it's going to be a 5% reduction, so it's 80%. Now I'm jumping fast just because I want to get you on line of where we're going. And then you looked at those last program type requirements to make sure that there was nothing unusual there. Lastly, you're going to look at the additional program requirements and make sure that there's, you're going to look through them all and just identify all the little pieces to make sure that you're requesting the appropriate information from the client and that you're not giving them misinformation. Take that time to review it. You know where you're at. You want to give them the appropriate information to move down the line. So once you've identified all of those, then you can move off to go into the next scenarios, which is going to be, all right, how are we going to price this? Here's your primary pricing for the near prime. It looks like a lot, but in reality, it's all full doc, it's all 30-year, 5/1, 5/1 interest only, 7/1, 7/1 interest only, in each one of those groups, depending on what type of loan. We're going to do a near prime, so with business bank statements. So boom, that's the one we're working with. And you could see she wanted to get the lowest one possible, so we'd want the 5/1 ARM interest only, which is going to give her the lowest possible pricing to work with, because she's going to be in and out of it in a few years. And so we went from 30 to 5 to 1 that quickly. Now you'll jump back into the guides, and you'll notice when you look at the guides, anytime you see those highlighted areas, in all of the guides, what that refers to is what changes have been made on updates. It's not something that we're marking. But as you'll see, once you go past the guides area, there's all the different information that you may want to know with regards to their underwriting requirements, or how they piece each piece together. So as you're going through, just flip through it and start looking, and if there's something about this client that stems out, that you look and as you're going through these and you go, okay, I need to make sure I'm doing this properly, then you can take it and go. Let's say that it's a student loan. She's got student loans, and you want to know how they want to calculate that. So if you hit Control F on any PDF, and you can type in what you're looking for, and it immediately pulls it up. So you'll know that if there's no, it is going to go based on what the payment on the credit report. If there's no payment listed, then you're going to use 1% with them. But just by doing that, you know where you're at. So just take that time to look when you're looking. Now on OB, what you want to look at is, it's pretty, all that base information is the same. You're just plugging in the information. I always put in conforming and non-conforming right in there, and then I'm checking my fixed and arms, and I want to make sure that I get all my arm props. Then I want to look at, and I'm going to select, in this case, not selected for AUS. Again, not selected. It is one of the choices, and you want to hit that one. From there, you get all of your options there, and we can go in and we can say, okay, now we know in this case DeepHaven is a investor 39, but you're always going to see near prime, non-prime, and so you'll be able to see which ones are going to be options. Now we know we're near prime, but in this case we're going to make sure that we haven't missed anything, because there was one feature that we had looked at when we were going through this, is that she wanted an interest-only loan. So if we go back into OB, we make sure all the same things are checked, but down on the right there is a box that says interest only, and you check that as well, and you hit submit, and your findings are going to come up, and it's reduced it down to 2 choices. So as you go through and you look at those 2 choices, it's going to give you the interest only portion of it to select. So you go through and you can either pick, it's either the A plus or the just A. And in our case, we know that she was an A plus because she had good credit, there was no credit issues. And so you just kind of walk backwards through filling in what you know about the client. So anytime that you need to find information, we have in the topic section in DeepHaven is one of the topics, and in that category you've got 3 pieces. You've got the program matrix, you've got the DeepHaven contact scenario for the scenario desk, and you've got the DeepHaven PowerPoint, which was done by them, and they put on a once a month training on their product as well. But this just kind of makes it easy for you to how to look at going through and identifying the appropriate information for your client. Secondly, we keep this video is uploaded onto the video section, and you'll be able to click on it and see all the information again. Lastly, I recommend anytime you have any questions, contact the scenario desk. They can tell you, does this work or not? But they won't price out loans, obviously, and they will tell you if that income will work, but they don't calculate it. Our underwriting department will calculate the income with you. The only thing I'll say about income is what you put on the 1003 compared to the bank statements, whichever one's lower is what they're going to use. So don't cut shy on your 1003. So that's basically it. Get to know what the borrower is, identify the pieces, go through, identify what it is, then look at your appropriate type of loan program, identify it. There's only 5 choices once you identify which one it is, and then pick the right one, get it locked, gather the documentation, and close some more loans and make more money. Thanks so much.